You're listening to the Codependent Millennial Podcast with Sophie Shiloh, episode 26, Your Personal Power. Today we're going to talk about what your personal power is, where all of it went, and how you can reclaim it so that you can live a beautiful life of empowerment and freedom. But first, I want to read an incredible testimonial that I just got from one of my amazing clients, Crystal. She is currently in my Codependency Cure Mentorship program, and this is what Crystal had to say about our work together. Sophie's encouragement, unconditional positive regard, and insistence on lovingly calling you out on your shit can't be matched. I am working on taking all of my personal power back from everyone who I've given it to because of my codependency. When I started, I barely could identify with my codependency. Now, I proudly wear the metaphorical badge, codependent as fuck. Crystal, I was so touched when you sent this to me. Watching you so bravely look at your codependency, look at it in the face, and shift all of those unhealthy patterns is so inspiring. And I just love that I get to be a part of that journey with you. And I also love that in your testimonial, you wrote about taking all of your personal power back from everyone who you've given it to. I love that you wrote that because when we started working together a few months ago, you would not have phrased it that way at all. Well, not a few months ago. It's been 2 months now, I guess. You wouldn't have phrased it that way in the beginning. You would have said something along the lines of, I'm working on taking all my personal power back from everyone who took it from me. But now you know that you gave it to other people. And you also know that that's not something to be ashamed of. That's something that we have done naturally throughout the course of our lives as codependents because of our codependency. But it's not something to be ashamed of. It's something to be aware of and cognizant of so that we can reclaim our personal power, which is exactly what we're talking about tonight. But it was just so fitting, so perfect that you included that in your statement because of tonight's topic. So thank you, Crystal. It's an honor to have you in the mentorship. It really, really, really is. The Codependency Cure Mentorship is now open for application. This is the last time you'll be able to get mentorship from me in 2020, so head to codependentmillennial.com right now to apply if you do not want to be dealing with all of this codependent bullshit anymore. No more. We're done. I can't wait to read your application. All right, so let's dive in. Personal power. First, what is personal power? Personal power is your authority, your sovereignty over yourself and your life. It's your autonomy. Your personal power is your own permission, your own approval, your own acceptance and adoration. It's your trust in yourself. It's your confidence in yourself. It's your faith and belief in yourself. It's you deferring to your inner knowing instead of to someone else's judgment or opinion. When you're not standing in your own personal power, you feel unsure of everything all the time. You constantly second guess yourself. You question every move, past, present, and future. You often feel like you just can never rest because your mind is going a million miles a minute, considering every potential scenario, trying to anticipate everyone's reaction or emotion, and trying to manage them ahead of time because you don't think you can be okay otherwise. This is, like we've talked about in previous episodes, emotional childhood. It is a hallmark of codependency, and it will leave you exhausted and completely disempowered. When you're not in your personal power, you're constantly sorry. You're apologetic about your mere existence. And I was there, you guys. I was so there, feeling genuinely remorseful for just existing. It was horrible. When you're not in your personal power, you look towards others for instructions on how you get to feel about yourself, about your decisions, about your life, your goals, all of it. It's a terrible place to be. Really, truly, and I know if you're listening and you can identify this, you know what I'm talking about, this painful place of wanting to feel good about yourself, but literally not knowing how to do that unless someone else gives you permission in the form of them feeling positively towards you, or positively about a trait of yours, a characteristic of yours. You have no power there. When you're not standing in your personal power, there's no self-trust, there's no security in yourself, and there is deep insecurity because your only leg to stand on belongs to someone else. You are in complete disempowerment. When you're in your personal power, however, you are decisive. You are grateful and you receive gifts and love and kindness and generosity from life and from others graciously rather than apologetically. You know your worth. You value yourself, your body, your time, your emotions, your energy, your resources, your presence. You value your presence. You do not give people access to yourself simply because they asked for it or because they're there. You get to decide how you spend your energy, and only you. When you're in your personal power, you delight in your desires rather than hide from them or shrink away from them. You laugh a lot. You never victimize yourself. You never tell yourself the story that anyone else has more power over you than you do. You don't live in regret or resentment. You know that those emotions come from perspectives that are narrow and limited and do not serve you. When you are in your personal power, you are truly free. Where did your personal power go, and how can you reclaim that shit? You've given it away, consciously or otherwise, it doesn't matter. All that matters is that when you feel small, when you feel disempowered, when you feel like you've given someone else more authority in your life than you've given yourself, all that matters is that you ask yourself, where have I placed my personal power outside of myself around this issue? Who did I try to make responsible for my well-being, my permission, and my agency here? And then you simply reclaim it. It really can be that simple. I want you to try to let it be that simple. I also recommend when you try to reclaim your personal power that you remind yourself that it's never, ever, ever something that someone took from you. No one else can do that. That's the most beautiful thing. That's the thing I want you to hear in this episode, is that nobody can ever actually take your personal power from you. You have the power to give it away because it's yours. You can do what you want with it. That's the beautiful thing about it. That's free will. You can give it away if you want to. But that also means that nobody else can grasp it while you're trying to reclaim it. It's just yours. It just is. So you can choose to try and place it in someone else's hands, but you can also just as easily say, no, I'm going to take that back. That's mine now. You can also say the prayer and, feel free to add this, feel free to elaborate on this for yourself. But you can say this prayer. I know now that my personal power was always mine, even if I thought that it wasn't. I know now that in any moment I can choose to situate my personal power back within myself instead of in the hands of others. I love reclaiming my personal power because it helps me take full responsibility for my amazing life and my beautiful future. If you've been listening to all of this and you keep thinking, my God, I need this. I don't even know what my own voice sounds like anymore. I don't trust myself, but I know that I want to. I don't know how to stop giving my personal power away to other people, but I know that I want to. Then you need to apply for my signature Codependency Cure Mentorship program. This is my high-level 6-month intensive where I work closely with you and a small group of 9 other women to work through all of your codependent habits and patterns so that you can create an amazing life where you are truly standing fully in your own personal power. You know by now that there's nothing better than this. There's nothing more freeing, there's nothing more liberating, there's nothing more worthwhile than you spending time deliberately, consciously reclaiming your own personal power. This is your life. This is all of it. Come spend 6 of the most powerful months of your life with me and 9 other amazing women and leave a new person. Visit codependentmillennial.com to read all about the details of this high-level mentorship and to apply for one of the remaining spots. Applications close on October 29th, and this is the last time you will be able to get mentorship from me in 2020. So go to codependentmillennial.com to apply now. I'll see you inside. If you loved what you heard in this episode, join me over on Instagram at Codependent Millennial for more tips on how to move beyond codependency, reclaim your personal power, and build a life that you truly love.